Hi friends, good to come your way again. This is CLResources and this is our outsourcing archive platform. Alright, I'm so happy to come your way again, add some value, help you increase in value, represent value enough that you actually are well rewarded. I'm sure our last outsourcing in the practice literally changed something, moved something, shifted something, and then renewed that we should be renewed. So I was focusing last week on the last the last video on actually presenting value and representing value because of the society context. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. All right, today I want to talk about adding more value. I hope you understand and how it works. Yes, a lot of people, when we hear the word adding more value, what you think straight up is you're thinking about yourself. I want to add more value to myself, and then the idea is that you're thinking the more you add value to yourself, the more you're going to. But unfortunately, there is a thought I want you to buy into tonight. The more you add value to yourself, the more you may actually be threatening to people. So you're going to shift that thought line from adding more value to yourself to adding more value to the society. Because there's no way you're going to add value to the society, you don't add value to yourself. However, if you don't have an intention to add value to the society, you're not going to actually go the value generation path that helps you contribute value to the society. And listen to this now. When you add value to yourself, it doesn't make you rich financially, it makes you wealthy. Sometimes you have a lot of experience, if you understand, but if you're going to get that reward that you're looking for, you must add value to the society. One of the things you need to know and look at this is this: because we are Christians, the depreciating values of the society becomes areas through which we are reconciling the world back to God. All of us have a ministry of reconciliation, and so you are doing two things at the same time. You're making money, you're making impact, you are winning souls. All right, one of the things you need to know first is if you're going to add more value to the society, which means you have to add value to yourself, you have to go through the other parts. A lot of people don't like these, but you have to go through the other part. You have to go through the other part. You have to go through the other parts. It's essential you go through the other parts, but listen, don't go through the other routes. The other part is the part where people don't want to go through. The other route is doing everything people want to do, but then you I hope you understand routines, getting it done. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. In innovation, helping people buy time is one of the dimensions to innovation people look away from. McDonald's, literally in their innovation of burger, actually, this is all they do. McDonald's didn't do something extremely, unique to their burgers. They just promise that you're not going to stay so long on the line to get your burgers. I think it's a 3 minutes wait, because people had to wait 30 minutes and they're lining up to get burgers and some of those pastries and all of that. But McDonald's says we're going to innovate in a way that 3 minutes you're out of this place, and it's beautiful. And you're a Christian, so you're not going to innovate time to a point you're destroying people. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. You want to take the other paths, not the other routes. Don't ever take the other routes. Don't make life hard for yourself. Life is already difficult, in itself. Academics as an example, since I speak to a lot of young people, a lot of you don't know, right, that studying the perceived other courses literally is an asset. The society actually believes you're adding value when you're doing what everybody else cannot do. By default, they expect a pilot to earn more than a bus driver. By default, they expect a pilot to earn more than a bus driver, and both can kill intentionally. I mean, if you don't put them into right context, a driver can drive you to death, a pilot can crash you to death. I hope you understand. That's what I mean by that. I'm not saying that they're driving to kill. I'm saying the end of both is the same end. And then if things are done well, the end of both is transportation. But here comes a problem. The other part, not the other route. Other route sometimes is you have to first go and study something, then you study this, then you spend 14 years becoming a pilot when you could spend just some few years and then you're flying. I hope you understand now. Sometimes you grow up in nations like Nigeria, you have to go and study one course, and then there's only one university studying aeronautical something, very hard to gain admission. After you pray your way through, then by the time you want to go out there, you're starting. No, don't take the other routes. Okay, so I'll use the example of a building engineer, and in Nigeria, appellants, we call them show labor. You may not know what it means, but then a daily laborer, you understand? That's a mason, bricklayer, people that help bricklayers, work. They're either mixing sands and cements, or they're bringing mixtures, or they're helping them lift bricks, blocks. So those guys that work and just get a day, is it a wage you call a day or something, and all of that. Both of them are laborers. There's a building engineer that went to school, though this value may not be best, but just to help you pass my information. People may not even value building engineer. A lot of people try to build the houses themselves. But if you really are an educated person, you know why you need a building engineer in the trees. Both are laborers. But the most funniest part? Only one is offering value. Only one is offering value by adding more value to the society. Only one person is offering value. So what's the other person doing? The other person is busy working for money. The building engineer is offering value. You may not believe it. The show labor is working for his money. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. One of the things you need to know is working for bread. How do you know he's not adding more value? He must get a job to get the work done. The other person creates the work by value. Value creates work. So when you begin to do things that is adding value to the society, I hope you understand now, you begin to understand. The most funniest part? When you look at things from the outside perspective, the show labor is working or laboring more than the building engineer. But in the intrinsic bit of value, the building engineer is the one that worked first to create a role for the show laborer. Are you getting the message now? This world look as if they pity people that work so hard, but they reward people that create work. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say now. Let me tell you something. At this job, the building engineer shows a little bit of physical labor less, but a lot of mental labor. I hope you understand now. But you need to know this, that he was going to make a lot of money. He's even going to be the one to pay the show labor. Don't let me even say he's going to make a lot of money. He'll be the one to pay. You know why? Because the building engineer is adding value to the society. What does he think? It is because of him bricklayers are eating. People that sell bread and beans will come to a brick site. There's a chain of the understand. Once you are trying to add value to the society, I promise you that money automatically gravitates towards you. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say now. The most funniest part? The building engineer looks like he's not doing nothing. But real value is intrinsic. Envisioning, building. Are you getting what I'm trying to say for now? One of the things you have to please understand is that, the more you actually are going to add value to the society, the more the society gravitates resources towards you. Write this down. The society pays you according to the value you represent in it. Remember the last outsourcing, representing value. The society pays you according to the value you represent, not the value you present. This is painful. This is why God makes it so that the pastor should not expect the people. So the scripture creates a system for the pastor to be taken care of. Because sometimes the people don't even know the value you are presenting. And if you stand your ground in this dark world, righteousness, you may not represent value. You may not take the celebrity pastor status. Did you get the message carefully? If you want to be rewarded higher, what you need to do is you have to make yourself represent a higher value. Do you understand now? You have to represent a higher, not present a higher value. One of the things you need to know is, as you move on this platform, you want to make up your mind. If you want to get paid, you want to get rewarded. If you want to get paid, you don't need to add value to society, just add value to yourself. I hope you understand. If you want to get rewarded, you need to add value to the society as an orientation that makes you add value to yourself. It's for usefulness and also for importance that you are actually adding value to yourself. You have to come to a point where you're representing higher value. I hope you understand now. Higher value. I've taught you over and over to learn to redefine value. Always redefine value in every context that you find yourself. It's essential and it's very important, because of your own personal transition and all of that. Are you getting the message carefully now? Split the value to the producer consumer. Stay at both ends. You as a producer, but think, if you understand now, for the consumer. Don't think like a consumer. Think for the consumer. Look at this now. For the producer, you represent value. For the consumer, you represent, usefulness and importance. The value for producer is worth and width, we have said. All right. A food seller, for example, or farmer, I hope it doesn't represent so much of value to the society, though people are crying for food. How many persons wants to be food sellers? or they want to be farmers. People don't want to. But everybody's angry at the government because of food. Food represents more value than who is making it. You see where the problem lies right now. One of the things you need to know, my dear friends, the more useful and important you are to the society, the more the society rewards or pays you. The more you represent. You know the most powerful part? You may be a farmer or a food seller. And because of that, the food that you have there is so important, people are not receiving it. You get what I'm trying to say now? You have to actually find a way to make sure you are adding. Don't just keep being a good farmer. Keep becoming a food producer. It looks like their English languages is a switch in your mindset. Is a switch in your mindset. You know the most painful thing? Your rewardedness or payment is not primarily about the amount of hard work you put in. The show labor guy works all through the day and they give him 1,000 naira sometimes. It's not about the hard work you put in primarily. It's about the value that you represent. Now imagine a food seller or farmer versus a medical doctor. And the medical doctor will even tell you to eat well and eat healthy. The medical doctor is referring you back to the farmer. He's saying the farmer is so important. If you stay with the farmer more, you may not need me. You may not need me. If you eat well, if you eat healthy, you may not need me. But the society sees the doctor as a more useful or more important person than the farmer or food seller. I know this is painful, but this is only what it is. So the medical doctor gets paid more, gets more needed, and the medical bills are not priced like they price down vegetables from 5,000 to 1,200. They don't price down, medical bills like they price beef. They don't price down like they price pepper. You know the most funniest part? You have to look out to the society and make up a mind to add value to the society, and I promise you there's going to be a flip in your perception. This is what I want to bring your way tonight. I hope it helps you and then offer value enough to get reward. Have a great time ahead of you in the marketplace of life. Cheers to good success as you meditate on the simple things. I await you on the coaching and the consulting platform. God bless you.